Hello, my dear ones. We're coming to you live from Port Charlotte, Florida. And we have Crystal from Canada.
Hi, everyone.
And Rial in the background.
In the background, hiding. And I'm Dr. Morse. It's a pleasure to come to you and talk with you. We're just going to have a little bit of a rap session here.
I'm just so happy to be here.
Oh.
We came from Canada, and we're not used to this southern sun.
Look at that. You are a little red.
I'm a little red, yeah.
Where did you stay? Did you stay in Siesta Key up there in Sarasota? Or?
We stayed in Orlando.
Orlando,
Yeah.
the party capital of Florida. Oh my
Party
God!
town.
There's
Yeah.
parks, or you couldn't see them in a half a year. There's so much to Universal, and there's so much to Disney. It's like
it's like the heart of
I know.
like attractions, everything.
I know.
Yeah.
Fun place to play. You know?
Oh yeah, exactly. It's just one big playground.
So your mother actually passed from colon cancer.
Yeah, if we would have known about your channel and how you can heal.
Yeah.
It's one of the most preventable too.
Yeah.
It is too. People, this whole thing of cancer is such a fear thing.
Exactly.
Because people are dying right and left from it. And as one newscaster once, a female, and she was talking about a friend of hers who passed from cancer, and she looked right in the camera and she said, "My friend died from the treatment of cancer, not from cancer." Mm-hmm. And that was the smartest thing that I saw someone in that field say, because it is true. There is a new study out, just came out, that just flatly shows chemotherapy just basically burns you right on up, and it, for their words, spreads, but we know that it's not a spreadable thing. It is burning everywhere, systemic problems.
Just big acids
That's
injecting.
how I feel too about my mom too. It's more of the chemo not the cancer, but it's the treatment that killed her.
Yeah, because if you have a tumor in the bowel or something, you can cut that out. You can resection colons and small bowels, and you can do that. But when you pass from something like that, because generally these places in the bodies where the lymph has been stagnant, those places that you see converting cells quicker from a normal cell to what they call a cancer cell is going to be your genetically weakened areas first. See? And so this is why it's important to go fix the lymph system but strengthen the cells too. Because the acids will just burn them right up. And the treatment is what really is hurting a lot of people that way,
Totally. And she had the radiation to start, and then that wasn't working, and then went straight to chemo. And then even the dietitians I remember this too, the dietitians were telling her to eat high protein steak. And
you know why, don't you? Because their idiocy is that the destruction of tissue in the body by their high acidosis chemotherapy needs to be replaced with amino acids. The problem is they're talking about proteins.
Right.
And they don't understand the difference between amino acid structures from fruits and all the other benefits you get from a lymphatic focus, as opposed to the proteins, which has no lymphatic focus and only has, and they're all acid ash forming
Nitrogen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then where are you going to go with that? And a lot of people don't understand the difference between nitrogen chemistry and carbon chemistry, and we're a carbon planet. I don't know what, it's just not a lot taught that way.
I know, yeah. Which is crazy. The
It is
truth
crazy.
is so simple, but
It is.
we're led so many different directions, and sometimes that's what it takes to get you to wake up.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But you're in a genetic lineage, so that's what you gotta remember, that her children are going to have, in most cases, now your dad could have pulled you away from that weakness in an area, but you're going to have those weaknesses, and boy, that's why these are wake-up calls, because genetics are facts.
Yeah, I've got more weakness on my dad's side
His dad
because
had
he
a
had a heart
really?
attack already.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
His dad died of a stroke.
they're
Oh no!
But like what we're doing, because he's eating. We've been eating. Guess what we've been eating coming here? Fruits, berries, and melons. And we're just.
And this is a perfect place for it, because it feels subtropical. It's a beautiful day today. The rest of this week is going to be beautiful. We have a little cold front going to get down in the upper 50s. And, it'll be a little chilly, but that'll pass right away, and it's just so beautiful. And you feel like eating fruit.
Oh, totally.
You get up in the cold climates, and you guys are way up there.
Yeah.
And it's just much more difficult, because I was born and raised up north. So you don't have that inclination just to grab a fruit. I would have more of an inclination in Indiana to grab an apple as opposed to an orange, probably. Just looking at the structures and where they're raised, the environments. Because I remember in my naturopathic school, my main thesis was looking at the geographical location of the earth and looking at foods relating to soil conditions and the fact that fruits grow in sand, unless you're out in Finhorn. But things grow in sand here, but when you get up north, you got deep, rich soils. So things tend to be more acidic. The nuts get more acidic the further north you go. So you start seeing the layout of the buffer against the alkaline weather.
Right. Yeah, it's so true. Up north, we more want like the soups and those types of warming foods, but I've been doing good this winter with just the berries.
Good.
I've been doing lots of berries, and which a lot of my subscribers, I share a lot of what I'm eating.
Oh, good.
And even my downfalls, like, okay, I went to some cooked food, and you kind of feel it.
But the honesty is vital to have in you, and I see that coming from you, and that's important that we share honesty with the people, because we get beat up on social media, and sometimes with the young ones that are just really focused on total raw and 20-day dry fast and stuff like that. That's not what we teach. We teach more of a balanced way. If you want to do that, no problem, but balance is a little bit better.
Oh, totally, yeah. Because you can get way up there with the fruit, which I did last November. I did, because I got the ovarian cysts, and so I was trying all these different things, and then I was trying the yogurts and all that sort of thing.
The yogurts. They even teach women to douche with yogurt.
I know.
And it's
I tried it.
What? I mean, it's insanity when you hear this stuff.
I know. And so I just kept, going this way, getting a roadblock. Going this way, that didn't work. And sometimes that's what it takes, is like, if this doesn't work, try something different. And I feel so many people, even like myself, like I would just, I wouldn't even realize I'm in my own prison. You kind of...
that's about the nature of the beast, though. We don't realize we're in our own prisons and that we've created our own prisons, mentally, emotionally, and everywhere else. This is our ride in creation.
Yeah.
And most people are looking for someone else to help them with their ride, but it's your ride.
Exactly.
And it's like...
Who's the driver?
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you're not, someone else is.
Oh, totally, yeah.
You better make sure you know who's driving your car.
Yeah, it might not be a fun ride.
It might not be a fun ride, is right. Well, it sounds like you're really getting that fruit level. And it's funny, I just read this, and I'm gonna just step away just for a second and read this, because this is, and I read this with the Ians, and this comes from 1898. And it's out of the Wilkes-Barre Leader.
Okay.
All right, so that's Wilkes-Barre. That would be UK, right? I'm thinking.
Sounds right.
A fruit diet, it says, a fruit diet has often been known to cure where every other remedy has failed. Thousands of cases which have been given up as hopeless have been cured through this means. To fruit feeders, such things as rheumatism, gout, and you can just go right on down the line with them, can be eliminated. Nervous inability, to say nothing of numbers of other diseases, can more or less be traced to a wrong diet, and are removable when a correct frugivorish one is adapted. If therefore a fruit diet has indeed nothing else to recommend it, its curative powers would be great enough to insist upon its value.
Oh, wow.
Written by an intellectual for sure, but you know what? 1898. That's cowboys and Indians.
I know, the answer was there.
Come sit down and have some fruit.
Yeah.
I mean, man kind of got away from that.
Oh, it's so simple.
Campfire gets cook the deer instead of eat the fruit.
Yeah. Yeah, last November I, went through different paths to get to you and spent hours upon hours watching all Dr. Morse's videos. And I'm so thankful that he's out there putting out his energy and his time, and it takes a lot to kind of crack that mind where you think, okay, proteins, and I did the high proteins and the yogurts and the surgeries and getting cut open for skin cancer, and then another mole shows up right beside it, and so
see that's it's in your face about curing it the right way instead of
Right.
treating. We talked about that before the camera, about treatment versus
Yeah,
addressing the cause of this problem.
exactly. And then it went to abnormal cervical cells, endometriosis,
Look at that.
ovarian cysts. And my mom, she's had prolapsing.
Has she?
Right? So you know kind of what road I'm
Okay, so
headed down.
yeah. So and you're tall too.
Yeah, I'm tall.
So
Pituitary,
pituitary and parathyroid.
Yeah, exactly.
And then start strengthening connective tissue up.
Yeah.
At the same time you're doing right with moving that, getting those kidneys to filter and moving that endo out of there.
Exactly.
Because that's just high acidosis, you know, and destruction comes after that.
For sure.
So yeah, like cleaning all that up, atypical. That's why I did that Hillel tea.
I got it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I made that as a douching tea. It came out first, I had to have, for some reason this particular year, I had a lot of women with atypical cells from pap smears, right? So I'm going, I got to have something for them, you know, and I found out this tea will convert a atypical cell within a week to 2 weeks.
Amazing.
I know it.
I mean, that's crazy.
You know, you see this painting here, of course, they're not going to be able to see this. This was painted by a Greek artist, very intuitive painter. She gets it all from the inner planes. Her grandfather was Dr. Papalopoulos or whatever of the pap smear fame. He invented the pap smear. So we traveled around. She got 3 medical doctors and myself and traveled around teaching women how they could have partial hysterectomies and things like this. I'm the only one teaching them why do anything. Why not cure it?
Exactly.
Why not focus on the cause?
Exactly.
And, you know, and whenever we had our classes out and we traveled around the country, it seemed like few would listen to the medical doctors, but when I got up talking about how you would cure, people came in from everywhere. Because people are starving. I don't want to cut things out. I want to cure things. But to do that, it had to do what you did. You had to change your level of thinking.
Totally.
You had to realize that protein is acidic, and now you have chemistry in your background, you said. So you know that's a no-brainer. Excuse me. So when you looked at that, you were able to pull yourself to the base side, the alkaline side of chemistry dominant.
Oh, totally.
You only got 2 sides.
So
You know,
simple.
people, it is so simple.
Like, it kind of bothers me now because I'm like, really? It's this
Yeah,
simple?
yeah,
And yet I felt like I had to go through this whole rabbit hole
yeah.
to come out to see the light.
Yep.
And it was really the mind of, you know, trying to crack this open. And at work, I remember watching, I don't know how many videos you have out, but I'm pretty sure I watched every single one of them and had to. Because I just needed to hear over and over and over of why we should be eating fruit and why it's okay to eat fruit. And that just seems like, just
Sometimes
me saying that now sounds,
Sometimes you have to plug in like that.
yeah.
Sometimes you have to plug in like that, you know, and listen to things over and over again. I had a bunch more, but I think YouTube took them down at one time because I'm a little controversial with the government as well. I don't like corruption at all.
gosh.
I hate that, and there's so much corruption in this world, and so I took on the government and the IRS and the World
Oh, that's
Bank,
big.
and that's a trip. When you take on the World Bank, you might as well strap yourself in.
No
because
kidding, that's a ride.
These guys are very powerful people.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting.
Oh,
But-
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you got to stand up for truth wherever you are, because in creation it'll revert back to your awareness and give you consciousness, and that's what it's about, is getting a higher level of awareness. Because like now, you're awakening more and more and more to truth. Doesn't it feel good? Because you're seeing things now you didn't know before, and there's a releasing in that, isn't there? There's like I'm feeling freer and better.
That's exactly what it is. It's just a freeing of, you don't have to get lost in all these distractions anymore, and you know, all this television tells lies to your vision.
Holy Lord.
Yeah, there's so many commercials for this pill, or take this, or go get a Whopper, and then right after, here's take an antacid.
And a high blood pressure pill,
Yeah,
and
totally.
maybe even a constipation pill. I mean, ow.
So you just see now, like, it's just crazy. They're just out of this whole game, it seems like.
Yeah.
And when I did a week of grapes, I did grapes and the lemons, because I knew you were talking about grapes.
My God.
And I just had this calling for grapes. So I was like, hey, let's do a week of grapes and lemons, the strongest, alkaline.
What did you do?
And it's, because I went from eating more vegan to, well, actually I got off a little bit. I think I went back to the yogurts because I was still lost in the mind. And did the week of grapes and lemons and mucus coming out. Every opening.
Oh, wow.
And I've done a few videos, so a lot of my
Here's the
subscribers.
yogurt coming back out.
Totally. Whatever else is coming. Yeah, I caused it all, but unconsciously too.
Yeah. And we all do. But
Yeah.
that's the game, I guess.
Yeah,
when
it's
you
true.
look around, that's the game that's set up for us, and
Yeah.
we have to just learn how to play and win. And
That's
we're
it.
winning.
Well, and it's someone like you, which I'm so thankful for, because
You're welcome.
it's,
Oh, yeah.
I'm just happy to have the answer,
It's fun, isn't it?
and
Oh,
it's just like,
and keep getting them.
yes.
Because you'll keep getting them. The more you quiet that mind, a lot more answers start coming, and they're big ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like unreal. Where you thought you were this little bitty human body having a little bitty face experience, you now become this gigantic etheric being that is a teacher of all of life. So it's pretty cool.
It is.
I know. I'm excited for you guys.
It's crazy. I haven't even shared my whole experience yet with some of my viewers, but when I was going on this grape lemon fast, I felt like I was exposed to like the duality majorly. So I saw like the beauty, and I felt connected to even all the plants, and maybe that's too much for people out there, but
It shouldn't be,
it's
though.
I don't think you're
You know what she's talking about. You shouldn't. Sorry to interrupt you, but it shouldn't be, because when you stop processing and eating cooked dead food, you're hooking to life again. Living food is living. Plants are living. Fruits are living. Berries are living. And no animal cooks their food. No animal eats dead food. And if you feed animals cooked food, they get the same problems we do. So there you go. But the raw is energy, is vitality, is chemistry, and proper pH ratio. It's everything you want. And it hooks you to life.
yes.
A higher energy of life. I think your listening group going to understand that, because
Yeah.
you ever have a down day, your energy's just dragging, your thyroid's down, maybe your adrenals are down, and everybody gets it once in a while, a down day.
For
right?
sure, yeah.
And you're just down, no energy, you're just down. All right, that's what it's like being on cooked food, as opposed to raw food. You realize you can have a down day every day if you eat cooked food, because when you turn it around and eat raw food, those down days seem to disappear, and now you're like, whoa.
Yeah, and it is. It's like, whoa, I'm not even ready for this.
I know.
And so, yeah, I opened up to this duality of like, I saw the beauty, I saw the positive, and just connected to everything. But at the same time, then I was exposed to the negative. And I opened myself up to that, and I got taken down. And
But you got back, right?
I did, but I had to I literally hit like rock bottom.
Did you?
Because I felt like
Wow.
I was in sort of this, I felt like I was in
Abyss
this,
or something.
almost this like spiritual warfare. I don't know if that makes sense. But it almost felt like then once you open yourself up to the negative, it like takes you.
Oh yeah.
And I went
yeah.
down that.
Oh yeah.
'cause
That's a rabbit hole.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah. You know, and that's a part about becoming the observer and watching. And then after a while, quit focusing while you're watching. And you will have made it. Those are the keys to the kingdom. Because it's the keys to awareness. Thought
Right.
is just like chemistry. It individualizes, you know. And if you want to see more things, you can't be lost in thought. Thought narrows your attention right down to your thought processes. So how can you see anything if you're busy thinking? And people have never been taught that, and it's that simple.
Right.
But it's difficult to stop thinking, because the mind goes, wait a minute, I've been chattering on here, man. You got to listen to me. I'm your boss. It's
Exactly.
like, no, you're my servant.
Yes, exactly. And I was kind of lost in the mind, but I was, you know, it was like an in-between experience where I was present, but yet I was still, the mind was still fighting, right?
Yeah.
So it was a crazy time. But I came out of it, and
It's like you did for the good, too.
I did.
You know, you always will. And if you have a spiritual guide or some spiritual being that you really like or something, you know, call them up and see if they come help you or something. Or just gain your own power with the light. You know, the golden light of God is just, it's for everyone. You know, and you just get strong with that when you feel like it's too much of a burden in the mind and stuff, because the mind is very powerful.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
But fun stuff, because health is both things, I think. Health brings you awake because it's energetic. Health is not a non-energetic experience. Health is obviously an energetic experience.
Yes.
Well, we were talking about, you like physics too.
Yeah.
And of course in quantum physics, you know, a little bit of the metaphysical physics, they have stated, and I think you've heard that, it's stated that energy, of course all thing is nothing but frequencies of energy, check, get it, but that energy has intelligence. To me, that's a leap from the mundane sciences on earth to the reality of life. That yes, everything has omnipresence, omnipotence, that sort of thing. Everything has
awareness, yeah, which is so cool. You know, you even see these plants that open up. You were talking about even that bug that you wanted to see.
Oh, praying mantis?
Yeah,
that looks like a leaf.
It looks like a leaf.
Yeah.
Like, nature's just so cool.
You ever seen praying mantis?
No, because we don't have them in Canada.
Oh, they're all over here.
He's looking for them.
Oh, wow. Isn't that funny? It's true. You know, wherever land you are, and it's not just Earth. There's a lot of lands, and it's just like everything is so unique to the area you're in. It's like pretty cool stuff, you know.
It is. And it reminds me back to the physics. I was going to ask you a question. I got a couple questions for you, if you don't mind.
No, heck yeah.
But on to physics. What would you say, I was thinking about this in the car, actually, on my way here, about cause and effect. And say you eat something, say it's a steak, you'll feel that, if you've been raw, you eat a steak, you'll feel that effect maybe within
short period
of time, right? But I was going to ask you, what is your thought on, say someone does harm to someone else, whether they steal or whatnot? Would that affect from what they did? Could that happen in this lifetime? Would it happen right away, or would it?
It depends, and it's a good question, because sometimes people are so loaded up with karma that you don't see that right away. The more spiritual people, you start to see it right away. You do something and it comes right back at you almost. You know, and you can see that driving down the road. Somebody pulls in front of you in a car, just keep following them and someone's going to pull right in front of them. I mean, it's just when you start to watch it, it's all karma doing this. But sometimes souls are so packed that you don't see that immediately, which is kind of a shame in one way, because it's a good lesson learner what not to do, because it's right into your butt, no one else's.
Right.
So that's what people don't realize, that the blowback is always on you. And that it's always good to be humble, loving, and you know.
Yeah. Giving
because the blowback is, you know, totally can be strong.
Yeah. And even, you know, I was thinking, what about those people that are giving chemo out and?
Oh yeah, but that's a sad thing, and you bring up a good question, because this is karmatic. And
would you still consider it karmatic if it's unconscious?
Yep.
Yeah.
Karmatic simply means is cause and effect. Going back to physics, cause and effect. So you can't escape it. Even the masters, you can't escape cause and effect, because you're in a world of that. Creation has to be that way. Without the two forces, you can't have form. So you have to have both.
Right.
As bad as sometimes it is, you've got to have friggin' both of them. And because of magnetics and because of form, you know the whole thing of chemistry.
Right.
And so, but your consciousness is not form. See, your awareness has nothing to do with form. This is just an embodiment of the things of the world you're in. So this physical body is made of the dust of this world, right? But it isn't you. It's your vehicle while you're here. And to get people to understand that when you don't take care of your vehicle, it can get pretty trashed up.
So true.
Yeah, then you got to take it into the body shop. And then when you're in a detox, that regenerative detoxification, you're like in a body shop, sanding your car down, cleaning it out, smoothing it off, you know, and then when it comes out of the body shop, it's buffed, it's looking good. True. And the same thing with the human body. You can come out of this so buffed, so awake, that it's phenomenal. You shock yourself at what you've done with yourself. And that's the beauty of it, is that each and every one of your listeners can grab this for themselves and enter worlds of beauty and joy and ecstasy that they can only imagine.
Yes. And
fun stuff.
Yeah, it's so, I'm so thankful to be at this point. To have found the answer.
Yeah.
You know, to think
and at your age.
Yeah.
You know, because I tell you, the young, if they can get the answers early, then you've got a whole life of correcting this planet and working with people and having fun with that.
Exactly. Not living in pain or suffering.
That's the other one.
Yeah, that's...
I can't believe the youth and how much, because I've been saying it That's video one.
Yeah.
But the youth, I was just pulling out a bunch of more questions to read. It's just one young person after another, after another, after another, and they're devastating. That one video I did, I just choked up on that one. That was 30-year-old with a lot of body parts already removed out of her.
Oh, I think I watched that one with the colon.
Yeah. Holy crap! I couldn't hardly tolerate that anymore.
Oh,
it's just like, God, it's sick. If you don't understand it, cut it out. It's like, what?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You have to cut things out. You regenerate them, but they don't understand that it comes back to the two sides of chemistry and understanding the nature of the nitrogen acid side. I get the fact that there's a lot of nitrogen in the air here, but people have to understand the balance of that, and the balance of that and carbon and the foods, and the fact that when you have something high over here, you can't also have it over here. You have to have that balance. So in chemistry, you don't understand that as either. You know, you have to have all your chemistry in proper balance.
Oh, for sure.
And then, of course, that flips into the pH. That has to be in proper balance because everything is activated in proper pH levels. And we were talking about it on one video, the duodenal for like trypsin, chymotrypsin, they're not activated until about 7.5 to 8. That's a lot of pH when you're looking at stomach acids around 2, and you're going to bring them up to 8. This is logarithms,
right.
So you're 10 times 10. How far are we going up? So you can see the need to yank the adrenaline side way up. So you can see eating an acid-forming meal would compromise the ability of the body to do that. And medical doctors think bicarbonate will just do everything. It's like, no. This is why you see all the things you see.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's just chemistry. It's just cause and effect.
Yeah.
And one man grabs that, and like, look at this, 1898, they were claiming that fruit cures everything. Amazing.
Yeah.
And I bet if you went back, because you went back to Jesus' time, you found the Essenes, you found the agnostics, you found the raw foodists, you go back you could probably go all the way back to the Egyptian times and find the raw foodists teaching the people of the day.
Oh, for sure. I've actually been looking into the Egyptians
Have
and
you?
like the pyramids.
Ooh, there's some funky stuff going there, baby.
That's maybe a whole other video, but that was, yeah, crazy time.
That's exciting.
Oh yeah.
I mean, things are exciting because everything's out there. Not just on this planet, everything's out there.
Oh yeah.
And that is what man has to wake up to. It's not just this little bitty rock.
No.
This is just a little bitty rock spinning through space. I've always said that. You know, we're just in a little bitty material body experiencing. Look at who you are. You know, you guys are these magnificent, giant spiritual beings coming in here, and these little bitty bodies happen to put up with the chemistry of this world. Yeah. But
yeah, so many of us have been born in these weak
no
bodies.
Kidding.
And
if anything, you doing these things and helping your friends and everything, I'm telling you, because there's just what you said, the skin problems, the cancers. I mean, we had this one little 1-year-old with a tumor behind her eye that we wanted to take her eye out.
oh my God.
We got it out. And I said I mean, these are sort of the things that we've got tons of 5-year-olds. I don't know what about Magic 5 and 6. Brain tumors all over the place, pituitary tumors and stuff, you know, all over the place.
I hear it in like just friends of friends, like the brain tumors.
Isn't that sad?
And we're talking 50 years old. That's still young, you know?
Very young.
It's
Yeah, but when you see all the balding out there, remember I was saying in the videos, when you see all this balding, is going to be 40-year-old Alzheimer's and dementias, because what's taking off your hair?
right, acids.
Acids. You go back to chemotherapy. Acids, strip, corrosive. It's like, and you want me to eat a diet full of that?
Proteins.
Yeah, exactly.
High protein.
Real smart. Yeah. I mean, there just hasn't been that awareness. It's been the mind lost in thought.
Exactly.
Right? And so it builds upon its own conditioning. So the mind is totally a conditioned instrument. There's nothing free or anything about it. It's a conditioned instrument, like your physical body. Everything's conditioned except you. You know, and that getting to that place where you're unconditioned and you feel free, and then you control your bodies, your thoughts, and your emotions, and you have fun. But you have it from a far greater viewpoint.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So, if you don't mind, I have another question
Oh, yeah,
for
okay.
you. So, something intrigues me about your experience on oranges. You talk a lot about your 6 months, right, on oranges?
Well, that's what I fasted on.
That's
But I was on oranges I've been on oranges all my life, but
Right.
back in those years I was probably 10 years raw, especially with the fruitarian level almost. And so a lot of oranges during that time. But I did 6 months exclusively.
Wow.
But I think some of these YouTubers are getting
Oh,
up there.
yeah, I've been watching some of them.
One
doing-
lady was 3 years on vegetable juice. She couldn't tolerate fruits. But she did 3 years vegetable juices.
Oh.
3 years. But she didn't have the changes I thought she could have had it been 3 years fruit. And I've always said, if you want to see the difference, go out there and do a week on carrot juice, then do a week on a green drink, then do a week on your grapes, and then do a week on your lemon juice.
Oh,
and you
boy.
tell me which one's the strongest fast you've been on. It don't take much.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I fasted on the greens and the carrot juice back in the early 70s. Didn't get us too far. As opposed to the grapes and stuff. Look at the cases we've cleaned up with the grapes and the lemons. I got one model. 43 days, grapes and lemons, no more lung and bone cancer left.
Oh.
43 days. At a stomach cancer case, the local newspaper filed stomach cancer diagnosed by mom had gone 56 days. Diagnosed by the medical community both ways. 56 days on grapes, gone. Amazing.
It is amazing.
But now he had a healing crisis. He threw up all this black, fell to the floor, threw up black stuff, leaving his butt and his mouth and all this black tarry stuff. I knew immediately.
Yeah.
Right there was the end, getting that final nasty, deep, dark stuff out of there.
It just, and it will go any opening that it can find, right?
Yeah.
Like it'll, I remember like with grapes with me, it was coming out here,
Ooh,
like
yeah.
any opening.
Oh, everywhere,
Oh,
everywhere,
yeah.
belly buttons, everywhere. Oh, yeah, it'll ooze everywhere. Especially for those people that are full up.
Oh, yes.
The mucus,
Yeah.
it'll come everywhere.
Oh yeah, I was full of it.
We had a guy, he's been doing yogurts and stuff, see?
Yeah.
But I have too, I not like that, but I mean, I grew up on dairy, and then I opened a health food store thinking it was healthy, and I ate yogurt's healthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all that on raw, I just put it back. It's like, what?
Yeah.
All that time on the fruit, and then here I'm chucking down a yogurt thinking it's healthy, and it's like,
Right.
that's why I teach what I teach, because I spent a number of years owning health food stores getting unhealthy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like,
Just
no.
because it's health.
It's
Type-
health.
yeah.
It's soy. It's Monsanto
Oh,
soy.
soy.
I still go back. Monsanto sold the health food industry, the soy consciousness. That's a bunch of crap bean. I ever saw one.
Well, you know what? When I was vegan, I was consuming a lot of soy, and then I started getting the pains.
Oh yeah.
So then I had the ultrasounds, and then you
Estrogenic.
got 2 ovarian cysts.
Estrogenic.
And
uh-huh.
I put 2 and 2 together. What could I be doing? And the doctor says, it's nothing that you're doing. And that didn't sit well with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm
Good.
like, I feel like it has to be something I'm doing.
Yeah.
So
It was, too.
yeah, and I took the
It
soy.
always is. It's cause and effect. And when someone says, it's nothing you're doing, it's like, okay, maybe I better tiptoe out of this and find someone with some awareness.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. So then I take out the soy and, take out the dairy too, because then I went back to the yogurts. Maybe that will help the cysts, and took
I
those.
really never had anything major back then, just a little obesity and just, I don't know, I had migraine headaches every day growing up and stuff like
Me
that.
too,
And it's
yeah.
just, migraines, there's no fun with migraines. If you have one every day,
Every day.
but and a medical doctor told my family it was that my eye muscles weren't matured, so I had to read every day, an hour every day. Well, try reading when you have migraines.
Oh man.
So, I didn't realize it was the milk and the congestion and the pressures, and then the stomach is a big source for all types of headaches and stuff. And I didn't know that. As soon as I got on raw, boom, all gone. And just like you, all this crap, but I knew it was.
yeah.
Because I read it. People said you're going to lose some mucus.
Right.
I read Eric first, I'm going,
I just read that book.
yeah, see, and it's mucus, and he was right on with that. Certain foods are mucosic responsive. In other words, they cause mucus, and those are generally the proteins.
Right.
Certain proteins, our body goes, nope.
Yeah.
They're called foreign protein, and they can be what you think is natural food, like milk. Oh, that's milk. That's good, wholesome stuff. No, it isn't. And it has to be the mother of the species. If you're going to drink milk, you drink human milk. If not, go to a primate.
Gorilla.
If you can get her down.
Right. Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. It's funny too when you tell that to people, they think, oh, a gorilla?
Yeah.
But then
they'll give you a cow's milk, which is totally another species.
Exactly.
Totally another species.
Yeah, exactly.
Or hog or something like that. It's like, what? You know, because
Don't eat it.
Yeah, I remember years ago they used to think that humans were more like omnivores, hogs, dogs, chickens, and bears. It's like, really? I mean, the stupidity out there. You know, why is people afraid to say that the Homo sapien body, the body, is 97% primate? It's fact. Identical. So I don't know why people are. These are incredible beings. We're incredible beings in the human state. Can be.
Yeah.
And it's worth working on.
For sure.
It definitely feels that way.
So, what was it that made you do a fast, an orange fast? Was it?
Well, I can't remember the first book someone flipped me. As a carpenter I hired to build me a house, and I can't remember the first book. It was either Arnold Ehret or it was one of the natural hygienic books, Shelton's book.
He's a carpenter.
You're a carpenter too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to build a house from the ground. I mean, we were farming, and I built barns and fences and you name it, playhouses and everything, but I wanted to build a house myself from the ground up. I mean, pour the footer, you know, and I used water levels, and I built the whole house myself.
Nice.
And it was fun stuff, but I needed help, so I hired this carpenter. Well, he was eating fruit in his lunchbox, and I'm probably eating McDonald's, who knows, you know?
Right.
And I'm going, whoa, that looked really good.
Yeah.
And that just flipped me. You know, he flipped me a book, and then, I don't know, God led me into the oranges. I can't even know how I found this nursery. And this nursery was ran by an older man who had his tisserand, his third eye was a television set. So if he wanted to know what you were doing and he knew you, he could just put his attention on you and he could watch you wherever you were. He was amazing. He was an old Southern Baptist too, which is freaky. And he showed me, he says, you believe in spaceships? And I'm an out-of-body traveler then, right? So I'm looking at him like, you're a Southern Baptist. I'm not going to say anything. You know, and I said, well, yeah, I believe in spaceships. And he said, I've been in them. And I'm looking at this, and this is a 70-year-old Southern Baptist who was poisoned one time with sprays for these fields because he worked for all these huge orange groves in grafting. He's a famous grafter. He makes species and stuff. And he got poisoned. He said, I'm going organic. I'll never do that again. And so his navel oranges were this big. This big at least.
Wow.
You could get them bigger. They were like the size of major grapefruits. Even the grapefruits in the store now are smaller than the oranges I ate. And sweet as honey. When you ate an orange of that variety, it was like acid. Acid what? This is like...
So I can't get enough.
No, you couldn't get enough. You couldn't. Your body was going, yeah. I could eat 13, 15 oranges in a setting, and I could have 4 or 5 settings a day easy. Oh yeah. And loved it. Oh, and energy, and I mean, too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Well, we love your guys' fruit down here compared to Canada.
And that's...
The papayas, we've been doing, he's been squeezing fresh orange juice.
There's nothing like fresh orange juice. And if you can find some navels. Now, I think at Sunkist, even though it's Sunkist, they have the late season sweet navels in Publix. If you can grab some of those, the juice is sweet. But those are the last of the navels. Now get this one. Navels are generally 1st of December, if you're lucky the end of November, 1st of December till about now, then you're done.
Okay.
Or maybe even a week or two earlier, actually. First 2 weeks in February. The year that I did them for 6 months, they had a bumper. He had a bumper crop. I also had a kidney stone in Ohio. He had that crop was still growing. They shipped me up oranges, flushed it out with oranges. I mean, it was like God had a year of bumper crop navels for us. It was like no one ever seen anything like that. You don't have navels as a bumper crop. Never heard of anything like that. Woo! I love that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, it's funny when you pay attention, things just start lining up for you, or doors just start opening, you know, and it's like... Yeah. If you just pay attention, you have to be...
You just watch.
Right.
Instead of thinking all the time, you just watch. There's a hand that opens a door for you. It gives you just what you need. It's amazing.
I could go on about this.
Gives me goosebumps.
Oh, yeah, like, just the stuff that happened to me and, like, us, it gives you shivers. Because it's you can't even say it's a coincidence.
Oh no.
You know, like
No.
how there's the thing, the timing of everything. It's
Fun stuff,
crazy.
I tell you.
But yeah, I just wanted to give you a little something for just, you know, helping so many people out there, and just you're just such a gift to this world, and so we really thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
And I just wanted to give you a small little gift. So this is just a small thing.
Oh my God, this is beautiful. Oh look. Can I open it?
Yeah.
Now? Oh my God.
So I know you like crystals.
Oh, I do. Oh my
There's
God.
just a little message.
Look at this. Look at this. Was this a message back there?
Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
just a little something.
Look at that beautiful. Isn't that beautiful? I love crystals. I tell you what, I have a crystal at my house that's 206 pounds.
Holy crow.
And this thing is this big, and it's huge. I have a bunch of very large crystals, and there's a friend of mine that's a shaman, and you've probably seen him, but he's one of us. He comes to class a lot. He's Micah. We communicate also because he fills my crystals from his house in Arkansas.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yesterday he texted me and said, "Boy, I feel the light coming through the crystal." And I said, "I'm looking at the crystal right now with the sun shining through it."
Oh,
That's pretty wild.
That is
ain't it?
wild,
I
yeah.
tell you, it's fun stuff when
Oh,
we
yeah.
all get connected like that, isn't
yeah.
it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah.
things we can come up with.
Oh, this is sweet. Did you put this in here?
You know what? It was just with
No
it.
way!
Yeah.
This is pretty right on. It's
I
talking
know.
about the messenger and everything here.
Yeah.
Each messenger is like a friend that's never be far apart. I love that. I love you guys. Thank
Yeah.
you so
We
much.
love you.
Oh no, we're gonna have we got
So.
just a place for this. Oh yeah.
Just a small
Oh no. No.
token of our appreciation
what?
for you.
My joy comes in seeing you win.
Yeah.
That's my joy, is seeing you guys fix yourselves and your loved ones. You know, you can't judge about the mother, but you know what? There's lessons there. And remember, souls don't die. You can't kill anybody. Just the body's going to go. So when one learns how to communicate, you can communicate with your loved one. You can play any game you want, but at a much higher level now. Instead of this lost in this planet and all the
Duality.
negativity and stuff like that, you can soar and be able to communicate with beings far and wide.
Yeah. Oh, do you think that some beings will be back here?
Oh yeah,
Oh, you do. Okay.
oh yeah.
Based
There's
on.
been, we were talking about this, I think, even on the in-state, but this planet, I don't think, has ever seen so many spiritual beings ever. It is amazing how many people, spiritual guides are around, spiritual beings, the ascended masters, Saint Germain in the group. I mean, it's just amazing the power of all that. And anybody at any level can grab help from anybody. And all these spiritual beings are here ready with their hand out. You just have to quit lost in space with your thoughts and wake up. And their hand is right there to help you. Just like you said, if you just sit back, that hand is opening your doors for you.
Right.
Neat stuff.
It is neat. You just have to pay attention and be ready for it too.
Be ready for it too.
Yeah.
So the advice to all your listeners, I would say, is get raw. Get yourself away from cooked foods. If you have to have some a little bit for balance and stuff, okay.
Yeah.
But get yourself on a raw diet. Try a 1 week grape diet.
Yeah.
1 week just grapes,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It's when you apply it on yourself and just trying something different, that's where you're going to find your answer.
Exactly.
When
Exactly.
you test it on yourself, and
Exactly.
there's no harm in fruits,
None at all. Consider, here's the mistake people make. They're the most nutritious foods. Fruits and berries carry the highest electromagnetic energy of any food and the highest energy of any food. So why would you not want to go for the nutrition? When people think there's nutrition in dead animals, cooked dead animal meat, it's like,
Right.
really?
Right.
Where's that nutrition? Where's the nutrition in dead beans that have enzyme inhibitors and all this stuff? Where's the nutrition in grains? It's just starch. There's none in these foods. So where does that take you? It pulls you right to fruits, berries, melons, and vegetables,
Yeah, exactly.
where the bulk of vertebrates eat.
Right. And all those other foods, the cooked food, the meats, the dairies, that's so much harder for the body to digest.
Oh my God.
And it's foreign. So,
look at the difference.
Oh yeah.
How you feel.
Oh, it's.
You feel light.
Oh yeah.
So like, people tell me I like to feel that heaviness, and I'm like, you do? I don't.
Yeah.
You feel light, like you get up and jump and lope like an antelope and stuff. You just have so much energy, you have so much freedom. There's no limitations, no shackles anymore.
Right. It's like we're not used to this type of energy or this type of feeling. So I think people people want to pull back to what's
exactly. They get scared of
comfortable.
it, maybe.
Yeah.
I wonder how healthy a human could get. How powerful. You see how powerful the primates are. We're the same species, but more evolved neurologically. How powerful could we get as a raw foodist? How strong? Because if you've been a raw foodist any length of time, one thing you will feel is the power coming into your muscles from where? You don't have to work them. They're coming in from someplace. Where's this power coming in from? Mm-hmm. Exactly. There's levels out there man needs to taste.
It's cool stuff.
To put a smile on the face.
It's cool stuff. So this may be, you may not want to answer this question if this is, you want to keep this to yourself, but where do you think you're going after this planet?
Well, this one is, I'm pretty much done as far as I know with my cycles. Mm-hmm. So I do have a place.
Okay.
I do have a place. It's,
yeah.
But, some of these journeys are long.
Yeah.
And
like stepping stones.
Yeah.
You gotta.
And there's a R&R. Twitch will call it rest points in eternity. But the worlds of God are available to any and every individualized consciousness, and they can do anything they want in the worlds of God. From becoming the creative dreamer themselves, where they create endless worlds within themselves, or they can work as way-showers or helpers in the universes. So it just depends, and you're always sent on missions and stuff, but you have times to rest, and there's places that you can set up for yourself for that. So there's all kinds of neat stuff.
Right. That's cool.
That is cool.
Well, I don't know if I have any.
All
do you have any other questions for?
No, it's
fun stuff.
Right, yeah.
So all your people get on raw foods. Now, remember when you start on a healthy diet, all the symptoms, if you had bronchitis, if you've had ovarian cysts, or if you've had pain, you had a car wreck, and you got tore up a little bit, these things could come back on you. Because you're basically walking backwards in time, eliminating those things that made you weak, those things that destroyed tissue in you. Mm-hmm. And those are called healing crises. So you could have a bout of bronchitis. Live through it. Mm-hmm. Get that mucus out, and then you won't have it anymore. No more mucus. It's the mucus you hadn't noticed that the body's trying to get rid of, mm-hmm. but that's contained in all the acids. It's the way the body protects you.
Yes, exactly. And one thing that, for me, is the healing crisis, because oftentimes we get scared.
Yeah, I know.
So we'll be on the fruit and the juices and doing really good, and then wham, you think, oh, something's wrong here, but that's where
it's not.
It's not. Yeah. So some people get freaked out, and I've been there. So we kind of. Yes,
well, you know who gets freaked out and don't understand it? That's the medical community.
Right.
Working on people, you send them to the emergency room once in a while, especially more advanced people. Mm-hmm. Or they take themselves when they have a set of symptoms or something, and they never can find anything. Mm-hmm. They never can find anything. We had one poor man, he got just really tired. Of course, we were detoxing him, had a cancer. And he just felt really, really tired, but his cancer was almost gone. Everything was doing good in stats, and he was just feeling a little fatigued. Took himself in the ER where his wife went nuts because she said they're going to kill him. Mm-hmm. And she called him while he was filtering. Mm. He was filtering in his urine. That's what you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. They took it as a high-end infection, slammed him into ICU, put him on antibiotics, and his wife called me and said they're going to kill him. I said, you got to get him out of there because he's healthy, mm-hmm. and he's going to be on antibiotics, which will pull their fatal events right into it, and they killed him. He died in the ICU from the use of pharmaceuticals. It's like, are you serious? I mean, I've had so much experience with this, and watching that side destroy the lives of humans, it's sickening. Mm-hmm. And we just have to stand up and say, enough's enough of this kind of stuff. You guys got to learn the truth a little bit and quit hurting people. It's not, it's not your theories are lost in space.
No, totally.
Totally.
Yeah.
Those of us in chemistry and physics and stuff, we understand it.
Yeah.
So but that's just the way of the world. So it's up to each and every one of you to ride your own horse, to be the driver of your own car. Grab your power back, especially you ladies out there. Mm-hmm. You grab your power back. This world is very male dominant right now, and they've been taking a lot of the power away from the females. No, you get your power back. We need the love of the female principle. We need the beauty of the female principle on this planet now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's actually who I'm going after, just based on what I've gone through is ovarian cyst, endometriosis.
Absolutely.
I have normal cervical cells, and I did a video on douching with your heel alti.
Get that out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good job, honey.
And because I got no shame.
Yeah.
I put myself out there.
Well, this is real life. This is reality.
Exactly.
Every body part is reality.
Yeah.
Everything is reality. We got to help each other get well.
Exactly.
So don't be embarrassed about anything. Douching, enemas, stuff like this. This is all of us working on our body. We all have bodies.
It's just a body.
It's just a body.
Exactly.
But you are not just a body. You are an incredible being, and I want you to grab a hold of that and appreciate that beauty. Mm-hmm. Get your body healthy while you're here. Mm-hmm. You're not going to keep it all your life.
Yeah, no. And that's good for a lot of us out there.
For some it is, for sure.
Do you think it's gonna, what do you think the future is gonna be? Do you think it's, do you think this is a good time to be
I think you're going to see proportionate. I think you're going to see the negative still chewing hard.
Yeah.
But there was someone that made a comment. They felt that finally the positive forces were dominating. I don't know if I can say that yet, but I think that's why you see so much. It's not that this planet has to turn itself around. It's this, that there's so many spiritual beings here that's ready to leave, number one. And number two, the human experience is capped with its different states it can experience. So we're increasing them. We're bringing out the awareness of the kidneys and the lymph system. We're bringing about more awareness of how you can move away from thought and get yourself awake. So we're increasing the experience ability of humans, and these will be available to them. It's like you talking to your friends. You have some friends that just can't go there, and some friends that just, I got to try this. And so that's what you see in this world that way spiritually as well. And you will have some that just go off and they're going to be here. Some just coming. I've talked to souls that just got here. You've never been to this level. So it's like a Star Wars, and you've got more walk-ins than ever before. You've got a lot of visitors. Contrary to people have to get their heads out of the sand here, as things are going here on this planet quite quickly with other beings. So a lot going on. So who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? It's a movie, a film set on a certain stage, planet Earth in the physical world, and that stage will be changed off and on through time, and the players will constantly change.
That's true.
But you want to find out who's the actor. We play so many roles that people, just like actors, they sometimes lose their identity because they played so many roles. They don't know who they are.
Yeah, you see that with Jim Carrey. Actually.
Oh yeah, Jim Carrey's
coming out. Yeah, and he's
talked about that.
Yeah, and so what's interesting is, I don't know if you saw the Truman Show, which is
I did see the Truman Show.
Yeah.
Oh, you can. I love Jim. I'm a Jim Carrey lover.
Me too.
I love that guy.
But yeah, he's.
But that's just to me. That's just what we're in.
Yeah.
A Truman, a show like that.
Exactly.
Oh
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Come up with a big ship that. Whoa! I mean,
the illusion of it all.
The illusion of life here.
Yeah.
It is, and it's just becoming awake to see it.
Exactly.
And same thing.
And that's what I'm trying to wake a lot of people up to, is be careful of the illusions, even the guys with the big muscles, and following what they're doing, because you could get this, the high protein in the kidneys. And
you know what? We're into major shifts and changes.
Right.
There are everybody from Mr. Olympia. We have some trainers of bodybuilders. We have major bodybuilders that are now realizing that the high proteins are acidic, breaking down the kidneys, reverbing back and creating a standard rheumatoid arthritis is all through the body field.
Yeah.
And we've had them in here, major arms, but the elbows and the wrists are all gone. We were talking about rectal blowing and stuff like that. And of course, that flips me back to the thought on you, because you had mentioned something about a parathyroid.
Yes.
Yeah, you want to think about that?
Yeah.
I think that's what people have to learn, about the glands, and that we can fix wrinkles, we can fix connective tissue prolapsing, we can tone, we can tighten. We can re-strengthen, regenerate, and that's what man needs to fix. Man's been lost in this medical mayhem of no cures, no nothing is sad. Yeah, we'll try to help you, but
run for
bull
the cure.
hockey, that's all crap.
Yeah.
That's dungeon thinking.
Yes.
There's life and vitality out there no matter what you're involved in. Got to change this.
Exactly. And I remember actually when I was young coming into this world, and I remember commercials, run for the cure, and I remember talking to my dad saying, there must be a cure. And I was thinking, I was 14 or something, and I just thought, how long has it been?
Well, people say that there's a cure for cancer. They just don't want you to know it. The problem is the theory of cancer is ridiculous. Because it's just a decayed or atrophied cell. Be like your cervical cells were atypical. Where are they going from there? See, so they're walking down the road from healthy through the fields of atypical, whatever that means when you stain it, right? All the way to at the point where they considered a mutated cell, and they can say cancer cell. But it's just what mutated the cell. Only chemistry can do it, right? So when you pull back and you start tracing it from simplicity, you go, oh, it's just a damaged cell by acids. Then it pulls you into what system in your body deals with the acid side of chemistry, and it ate your blood. So it just starts to get so it just starts to make sense when you start tracing it back intellectually and properly.
Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So simple.
So simple. Eat your raw, but fruits, berries, and melon. Try it.
Yeah.
Where are you going to go? You're eating food. It's not like you're starving. Eat all you want.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not starving. Like if you did a 10-day grape diet. You're eat all the grapes you want. You're eating. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's the most nutritional electrical food on the planet. Try it.
Mother Nature.
10-day grapes.
Made it in perfect. Yeah.
That's a ride.
Oh yeah.
You ever done that?
Me, no. But I did cure my headaches, and
did you?
Yeah, I was just like you before. Every day, I'd bring the pills with me because I had migraines for all my life since I was a young child.
That's horrible.
So,
same here.
Yeah, changed my diet. No more animal products, dairy, and just like that, never again. I don't have any pills on me right now.
Thank God. Thank God.
And imagine what that does to your gut. All that
you can imagine. Tears your stomach and liver right up.
Yeah.
So you want to work on that a little bit, and stay raw and let that heal and rebuild itself. But I didn't pop a lot of things for. I just lived with it.
Yeah.
But it's horrible.
Well, you can cure anything, really. It's unbelievable.
Anything.
Yeah, and you don't need all these pills.
I had an Amish man that had a headache every day of his life for 45 years, every day.
Yeah. And you think it's natural. You think it's normal.
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
Well, he'd been all around the world. They headache clinics all over the place and everything. I think 30 days, 40 days, gone.
Yeah.
It just... And he suffered for so many years. And that's the get. You can suffer for so many years, and it's so simple to find your remedy. It doesn't take that long. If it takes you a year, if you have some advanced stuff, okay. If you're a quad or paraplegic or MS or Lou Gehrig's, it might take you a couple of years, okay. You can walk within 6-7 months, but to get running and get up, it's going to take you a couple of years. Sure it is. So, you're up. You're walking. You're not sitting and mutating and twisting and turning.
Exactly. And the fruit kingdom, like if you don't like a certain fruit, the fruit kingdom's massive. That was what shocked me, is that for so long I didn't even realize the taste of papayas and these melons. I was craving them, especially when I was diagnosed with skin cancer. I was craving fruit. I went to my naturopath.
Look at that.
Went to my naturopath. I said, you know what I'm eating? She wanted me to eat more vegetables. And I said, well, I'm actually eating more fruit. She goes, no, we want you to eat more vegetables, but didn't explain why, right? Because they're both sugars.
Yeah.
But no, stay away from fruit. It has too much sugar. That's just the saying out there. Stay away from fruit. It has too much sugar. But that's actually what we need. Our cells need.
It is.
And that's where the health is.
It
like
is.
Your berries and your grapes and melons. It's like that's where the hydration is. That's what I needed with my skin cancer.
Exactly.
My whole lymph system. Just so dehydrated. My body was telling me, this is what you want. This is what I'm craving.
And you went with that instead of listening to your practitioner, and that's a good thing. Is listen intuitively, not not those that say, I got to have a piece of meat. That's not intuitiveness.
Yeah, I know.
You were living intuitively, and that's really exactly what you needed. It hydrated, it energized, it cleaned, it enhanced. I mean, you can't say enough good things about that.
No, and it's just see how you feel. Like, do you know, go back to the standard American diet or Canadian diet of meat and eggs and dairy, and then go back to that and see how you feel. You know, exactly. I've gone back to the dairy, and right away, I got the what do you call it, the phlegm.
Yeah.
And then you go back to the grapes, and it just takes it right out, and you don't have the whole congestion.
Yeah, my grandson is not all fruit now, but he was pretty much growing up. So now he was flipped a little yogurt at school.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like, hey, oh look, you caught a cold at school. Oh really? Yeah. How about you gave it to him? You know, and that's the sort of thing that's stupidity out there. Is, oh, you caught this. You might have had a trigger, but you created all that mucus and all that acid in you, you know, and people have to realize you create everything on your own. Maybe like you said, unconsciously, but that's why we're here, to bring that unconsciousness into some consciousness.
Right. Wake people up a bit.
Wake people up a bit.
Shake them up.
Shake them up. This is fun.
This is fun. Thank you so much for
Oh, you're welcome. And thank you so much for the gift. I'm humbled immensely, and I'm glad you're working on yourself. I'm glad you're working on yourself. And you guys are lovely people. Get yourself healthy and robust. And, and then, you know, like you're doing, helping others.
Yes.
You know, whether they listen or not, okay, I don't care. You know, this is what you can do. Doesn't matter. If you want to do it, fine. If you don't, fine. It's people that push sometimes and get the push back, you know. But you just say, hey, try it.
Exactly.
Sometimes you just have to be a little Johnny Appleseed.
Right,
I'm sure you are.
Sometimes I can get a little, you know, because you hear about these people that they're doing these surgeries on and they're ripping apart, they got children, and, you know I'm more...
It's not a pretty scene out there when you wake up and you start to see things and you know better, like you, and how you can fix things without all of this, and then you see what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
It's like we were talking about earlier, that 30-year-old I was reading with all the bowels cut out and everything else. It's like, after a while, my God, enough is enough is enough is enough. Can't you guys don't learn how to regenerate tissue? But that's not their field. And so, you know, they're in the field of diseases that they created. They're into that illusion and the concept of pharmaceuticals. And it's like, all right, let's scoot that heavy, nasty picture away because it isn't a picture of health and vitality and happiness. We want truth, awareness. We want to understand. We want to be happy. We want to feel like we're our own boss and driving our own car. We want to be empowered to stand up for ourselves. We want to be humble in front of others. You know, we want to have a good spiritual life.
That's the biggest thing, like you said. It's like getting your power back.
Exactly.
And I find, you know, so many people, they've been hit so hard on their self-esteem, and especially with these medications and the food, it can bring your glands down, and you sometimes can't even see the carrot in front of you, right?
Exactly.
And so it's about like unpeeling these layers and getting to, you know, truth and the core of you, and finding your freedom and your health, and, you know, the beauty of all that, and getting out of these traps, and which it's so freeing once you do, but it's really about just jumping out of the box and trying something different.
Yeah.
And that's where you're going to find your answer.
Something way out there, but that is so common sense. You know, for a lot of people on the planet, eating fruit is way out there, but it's not way out there.
I know.
It's
I thought
not.
that too.
I mean, we are primate-ish. I mean, it's not. Just take a look around. Because we can migrate to hostile environments, we become paleos, and it's like, it's interesting to me that they promote that. I mean, what's the previews of a new movie, and it's showing man as a paleo again. It's like, they don't show man as an islander, and they need to. They're building wrong perceptions in humans, and of course then you have the arguments over paleo diets and stuff. It's like you're arguing over something you don't understand.
It's like the merry-go-round.
I know, and you see that.
Yeah. And then you start to wonder, is this like history repeating itself over and over and over?
It is,
right?
and this is why we have to break this chain. That's the mind. It's like a phonograph. Its grooves are cut, and it just keeps on playing the same damn song over and over and over again.
Yeah.
You've got to change the grooves.
Actually, you brought up something that reminded me. Because I saw one of your videos on YouTube, and I think the first video I watched was something about everything. What was it titled? Everything Wrong About Foods, or I can't remember what it was titled. But I remember clicking into it, and I watched you just a few years ago, and you know, you're talking about beans and grains and meat and dairy, and you had me like with the meat and the dairy because I was kind of going vegan at that time. But then I was thinking, you know, my mind was thinking, well, what am I going to eat? Right? And that's what we think. What are we going to eat?
There's nothing left. After you get rid of the grains, you get rid of the beans, you get rid of the meats, you get rid of the dairies, what's left?
Right.
The main food for man. I mean, that's the problem.
And I thought, well, I'm going to eat just fruit and vegetables, right? So then I didn't come back to you. But I didn't like, you know, I just wasn't ready, I guess, at that time. And then I came back once I started getting ovarian cysts.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
so then I was like, okay, there's
I'm glad
something.
you did.
Yeah. I was like, there's something about this man that is like pulling me towards him. Yeah. So no, I'm so thankful that you're out there and you're on YouTube, because otherwise I wouldn't have got this information.
Yeah, you know what? I am so blessed to be able to help you guys like that, and all of you taking it and helping others. It's just, it's caught on, and I tell you, it's beautiful to see. This is like Miss Philippines, what she looked like before. Did you ever see that picture I showed? She came to me with extreme eczema. Her face is red as a beet, just, you know, eczema all over her body. And now she's Miss Philippines.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Oh, wow.
And Shane, which is one of our YouTubers, he was in Dubai. He has a lady, a young girl, same thing, just eating up bad, and before and after picture, just gorgeous. And there's so many skin problems. But to have a skin problem, you have to have systemic stagnation of the lymphatic system. That's the scary problem. Psoriasis and all that, easy to fix. It's what it means that's scary. And it means that your body is highly acidic head to toe. And it's just like your cells and cervix. Anytime, waiting for that to become intracellular acidosis and then the breakdown of the tissue of the cell.
Right.
So it can be anywhere. It can be anywhere.
Yeah.
And not even know it.
Exactly. And it's just that genetic weakness that you can see in the eye.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the beauty of the eyes,
Yeah,
right there.
I got into that a little bit.
Did you really?
Yeah, well, I got a bit of a rosary. I don't know if you can see
Do
it.
you got a bit of a rosary?
Well, I think so. In my
I'd have to see it in the
right
camera.
eye, yeah.
Wow,
So,
you want that gone.
I know.
She's talking about lymph node swelling. In iridology, there's what we call a lymphatic rosary, and what it is, when the lymph nodes are swollen in your body, they make little white dots that go all the way around your iris. If all of your lymph nodes are swollen, and we call it a rosary, you want that gone. Because remember, the lymph node is between the cells and the outside world from kidneys and skin. You lose the lymph nodes, there's no way for your tissues to remove these acids, and the acid will just chew them up.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just that's all, it's as simple as any sewage backing up to any house.
Yeah, it's so true. And I can see my mom, I'm getting it from my mom, because the issues that she has now at 50, I think she's 50, no, she's 60, sorry. I'm getting now at my age.
You want to look at mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going right down that path, but I'm turning my car around.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. Well, get a picture of mom's eyes, or you know, with the cell phone or whatever, a picture of yours, and just look them out and go, okay. Oh, and dad's, you go, okay, I got mom's this, I got dad's this, but a lot of mom comes through a lot of people.
Well, you know, she likes her cakes, and I liked them too. The cakes and the cookies.
Yeah,
and
I do too.
Yeah.
If I have to say I'm going to cheat, I'm going to cheat toward the carbon side instead of the protein nitrogen side.
Right, yeah.
You know, I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
It might be the fungal side, but it ain't the worm side.
That's us too, like the rice and the potatoes.
Exactly. That's you know, it's going to be on the carbon side.
Yeah.
You know.
At least it's still carbon.
Exactly.
But
Oh,
you know,
man.
the nitrogen takes a lot longer to digest, and then has to get converted, right?
And it will acidify the body.
Yeah.
So this has been fun. So great love to all your people out there.
Yes.
Have fun. Jump in. Listen to her. Crystal is just what she is, Crystal. And that is the knower of all things. So
just get it from this guy.
you just keep working on it, sweetheart. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to meet you too, and all of you guys out there. And have fun on this journey, because this journey should be fun. If it's not, turn it around for yourself. You're the boss. Remember that. If you're not, you become the boss of your own world.
Thank you so much for all your time, and you're amazing.
Ah, you guys are amazing too.
What you
Love
do.
you, man.